Chapter 35, Towaco's Success. After the tour ended, Vic returned to Towaco. In Vic's early Christian consciousness days, he was working as a missionary, as someone who would open young people's minds and eyes to the benefits of joining the movement. Being in shelter in 108 was not just condoned by the ISKCON hierarchy, it was promoted. During the lifespan of the band, Vic observed that not all of the awakened people were able or willing to follow the same extreme path he took. Those people had a spark ignited but never were able to kindle the Christian fire. So Vic moved on to attempting to educate these people in a way that was somewhat outside the bounds of ISKCON's norm of the time. With the cooperation of Donadari Swami, he founded the first branch of the Vrindavan Institute of Higher Education, VIHE, that was located outside of India. Turns out that Towaco was a good location, as that part of New Jersey had a relatively high percentage of Indian people. An unusual aspect of Hinduism is the near total lack of a religious bureaucracy, 180 degrees opposite of the Catholic Church. This made the transplanted Indian people very receptive to any location that properly displayed and venerated the deities of their ancestors. He made Towaco into an avenue for more ordinary people to practice and deepen their Hindu faith. The school flourished, attracted some good attention, and exists to this day. Eventually, Vic was elevated to the position of a temple president. This made the local New Jersey people very happy because the new temple was being run much more in line with the ancient practices of India. The temple flourished. When we found out, we were pretty impressed that Vic had risen to a role of responsibility. Instead of flitting around from temple to temple at the whim of some guru, he was sitting in and providing people with something valuable. His leadership and vision of a temple that could serve the people. Linda was so excited that she went to the local stationery store and bought him a paperweight that she had engraved with Mr. President. As part of my business obligations, I would often fly to the New York area. I started the practice of avoiding hotels and staying at the temple. Vic was very generous to me, and whenever I came, I was given a private room that was quite large and even had its own attached private bathroom. That's high class. Furnishings were sparse, and I slept in a sleeping bag on the floor. I enjoyed being able to move again in the same circles as my son, even if they weren't at the level of material comfort to which I was accustomed. During the evenings, we'd often meet with other members of the local community who sang Vic's praises. Devotees in the temple were personal computer users who often had technical difficulties. I was able to help them through with virus removal or other upgrades and repairs. As temple president, Vic worked from an office rather than from within his room. One time I was with Vic in his office discussing something about his computer when a female devotee came in and sat down. Vic introduced her and she said hello politely. I didn't catch her name, partially because I'm not particularly good at remembering names, and partially because I rarely see any of these people again. But this one was different, more forceful, more direct. She came in with a purpose. I noticed that there were, for Vic's environments, an unusually large number of female devotees around. That reminded me of groupies dialed way back. This wasn't the first time that females had been lurking around Vic. Back in the DC days, there were two sisters who openly were interested in Vic as a marriage partner. Vic, of course, was not the least bit interested. By coincidence, Towaco also had two sisters from Croatia living in the temple, along with their mother and brother. One of them was the one who came into Vic's office earlier. Quite a diverse group of people in Towaco. I liked that. But not everyone in the temple found my visits to be a positive. There was a husband and wife team who apparently were passed over when Vic was selected as temple president. They questioned why I got to use the best room in the house. They wore white robes instead of saffron to indicate their marital status, or more properly, non-renunciate status. I got the feeling that they didn't trust me. They seemed always to be nearby wherever I went.